Bon dia, good day, Sanibona. Today, I'm with Simao Nhambi. He's in our platform today to discuss just general dynamics of Mozambique with regards to this COVID-19 and the economic dynamics and the trade dynamics as to what is currently happening there. And so today we are plugging into Mozambique live and with Mr. Simao Nhambi. Maybe if I can just unpack his decorated background so that everyone just knows who he is. And talking about Simao is the managing editor of the African Journal of Governance and Development, which is abbreviated AJGD, and he's also the editor of the Evolution of Insurance in Mozambique. He's also the executive director at the Institute of Governance and Peace and Leadership, which is also has the involvement of His Excellency former President Joaquim Chissano. He's also the founding partner of a non-executive director of Media Vital. Media Vital, as you can see on the background, they are strategic partners in Mozambique. So Simao, through Media Vital and Claudia Jog, they are basically the eyes and the ears for us in Mozambique, who give us live feed as to the dynamics, the trade dynamics, the economical dynamics. So I'd like to welcome my old friend, Simao. Thank you very much for being here today, man.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure really to come and share our insights about this COVID-19 with regard on its impact on the cross-border and all what you just mentioned. Thank you, Becky, for having me here. Well, it has been a pleasure.
No, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I understand that you are, we've all been disturbed, the norm is not the same anymore. So there's a new norm now. There's a neo-newism, as they call it, neo-newism. And you possibly are working remotely from home, keeping your distance, as we had spoken before this conversation. Yeah, I understand that you're working remotely, and other people are basically taking precautions in Mozambique as to obviously to distance, social distancing, and avoiding a lot of crowded places. So if I may just jump into the first, or question or topic that maybe you can just unpack for us. Can you please just, from a Mozambican perspective, please the impact of the COVID-19 and cross-border trade between Mozambique and South Africa? Because I do know that Mozambique and South Africa, South Africa is the biggest trading partner in Mozambique, as Mozambique, through their development, they've been heavily reliant on South Africa, not necessarily in a reliance basis. It's basically a partnership, as you guys are a neighboring country, so it's more like a brother-sister relationship. So with South Africa being on lockdown, we came from a level 5 lockdown. The lockdown was improved to level 4, which is also, some essential services, quite a significant amount of essential services were allowed to move. And then, so what impact has that had on Mozambique?
Thank you. First, to begin with, as a social activist, we would say that there is some blessings in disguise in this moment, because the environment really thanks us for staying at home, not polluting in the roads. And the sea, it has got a list of its movement, so the sea world also has come to a booming state because of this COVID-19. So there are something which is positive. But as you can understand, our economy in Mozambique is mostly led by informal sector. And when we come to cross-border movements, that has been a very fundamental space in which the Mozambicans and South Africans explore opportunities of business between Mozambique and South Africa. With this lockdown in South Africa, the Mozambican also being restricted from crossing the border or receiving any visitors, it has really hurt a lot of the informal traders in Mozambique. And that has resulted in raising up the price of goods, basic goods particularly, that were mostly provided from the South African market to the Mozambican. But not only, as you can understand, and like when you put it in your introduction, that these countries have got historical trading history, long historical history of trade partnership We have Mozambicans as well, or South Africans who come to Mozambique to buy goods to resell in South Africa, which because of this COVID-19 just been halted and nothing happens. So we have many people, many businesses being locked down, unemployment being really registered every day. Companies, small companies particularly, are not able to sustain the salaries of people without necessarily doing their work, since some category of business in Mozambique have been extremely locked down. We are talking about your spaza shops, which provide the townships and the surrounding Maputo and elsewhere with good food services, basic services. And we are talking about small shops. We are talking about your fishing market. We are talking about even the art crafts as well. So all those who had found the informal sector to survive, they found themselves reliant on anything that can mean their own savings and any kind of food that is grown from their own fields in the backyard. So it is extremely difficult for people who have relied on the informal sector to earn their living. That's why the Mozambican government finds it very hard to control people, because each and every day they will go out and try to sell something in order to earn their living, because without that, it's really going to be very difficult. That's why we are still in a level 3, which allows these small movements within the country and the interaction between different provinces without allowing people to cross the border to South Africa, Zimbabwe, Malawi, and Tanzania, which are the immediate neighboring countries in the Southern African region. So that has been a very difficult moment, particularly as we said, to the informal sectors. People who rely on the informal sectors, the informal trader and the small business. Those have been the most hit by this COVID-19. But what makes it even more worse is that there hasn't been a plan that subsidize these small and medium enterprises to survive during this time of trial. Each and every small business, it has to find its way and see how it can survive this heavy wave which just hit the economy.
Yes, thank you.
In short, I think it was at the preliminary overviews that I can share with you.
On the same topic we're on, just explain as to how exactly. I know that you for instance, in Maputo, you've got your fish markets at which it is reliant on informal fishers to people go out fishing, and whatever they catch for the day, they sell to the fish market. So it's quite a significant industry I find interesting in Moz. And what impact has it had on these informal fishers? Because I understand what they catch for the day and the money they make is what helps them put food on the table, So things, the measures that government has taken, maybe the message they've tried to get to them is that they should stop temporarily going out there to fish or to put food on the table. Is that the case?
Partially, yes, because as you can understand, our fishermen do not necessarily rely on ordinary people to buy at the sea and they come back early in the morning. They also supply the fish market, which means that the fish market without our tourists, because remember, our fish market is our symbol of it's a symbolic space.
Correct.
Every tourist must go to fish market when he comes to When we reopen this, when this is over, please let us promote the fish market so that everyone can go there, because you can never have been in Mozambique without tasting our beautiful and nice prawns, our calamari, and our all kind of seafoods that we have in here.
I can already taste it as you're talking.
So as you know, it is not only about ordinary people not being able to buy because there is a fewer supply on those services, on those goods, I mean, but also because in a large scale where the fish market and the restaurants and hotels could be really buying from the fishermen, there is no one buying from them,
Right.
even if they are able to catch some few, because most restaurants are closed, and even those who are open, they can't do much business because business does not only depend on the local people. I mean, most Mozambicans, like most South Africans, most of the time they eat at home. Those who have the obligation of eating in the restaurant are the travelers. Those are the people who sustain day-to-day restaurant and restoration industry. So it has been very difficult for the fishermen, and not only, but the entire sector on a small business scale because of the lack of necessary interaction with the market as it used to be before this COVID-19.
Okay.
However, we must say that in as much as life has been hard in Mozambique in every aspect since the raising up on these preventive measures to level 3, we could say that it has worked because we are not necessarily worried about what to eat today, but whether we'll survive in order tomorrow to go back and work and turn the life as normal. The measures that the government has taken has saved a lot of human lives. So far, we have had above 150 infections, and we have a lot of those, like more than 50 people have been recovered. So, which means that the government, in terms of preventive measures, have taken a very, very good decision. And the tracing of those who are infected, like say, if Becky is infected, who else was with him, and take them and put into quarantine. All those necessary preventive measures have been taken, and that has flattened down the weak health system that we have, so it is not really well overwhelmed by the infections that they have. And most of those who are infected, actually, they heal from home as they are kept in isolation and monitored every day. The health institution gives a call to monitor people, come sometimes and visit the people who are infected from home and do the medical check and see how far they're doing and supply with their necessary needs in terms of medication if there is no need yet to go to hospital. And that has resulted in not having the virus spreading all over for these frequent visits, which each and every patient could have had if they were allowed to go to sanitary facilities in order to have their checkups and treatment. So we can really say our economy might be very weak today because it has been hit by this and limited in terms of interactions with other countries, particularly South Africa. But we must be thankful that the government has taken the right measures to prevent the spread of the virus and flattening the graph, which means that when we come back, we have learned lesson and we have a majority of people with us doing business as usual again. Contrary to those with countries, particularly the Western world, who delayed in taking the precautionary measures and which resulted in a thousand of deaths cumulatively. And we are, for now, we are still safe. So what needs to be done, I think, is to strengthen those measures in order, in fact, since winter's closing down, coming closer, to avoid that the scale of infections, which seems to be rising day after day. But given the comparison between South Africa and Mozambique, we have been blessed that we've been lucky that there hasn't been so much in the way this South Africa has happened. But there are some perspectives in terms of analysis on the COVID-19. The question would say, why is that Mozambique hasn't been highly infected compared to South Africa? The answer could be simple, maybe complex. So the cosmopolitan towns that South Africa has are not as busy as much busy as Mozambique could be. So the interaction between the people here in Mozambique is very little and limited compared to the dynamics of movement that South African towns and cities, big cities have. So you'll understand that more than 60% of our population are rural, where social distancing is already an automatic and given. Whatever we decide in terms of social distancing, we're just adding to what people are usually aware of. So there is not much interaction. So what we fear is that in cities such as Maputo, Beira, Inyambane, Shashai, and you go up to Nagala, Porto, they go to Pemba, and all other big cities in Mozambique. Those are the focus of infections because there is a lot of people coming in and going out, and the interaction on a day-to-day basis is higher compared to our 60% rural-based people population. So that also has contributed a lot in flattening the graphics because of the least infections and likelihood of infections in the rural areas. And then you'll understand most of those in rural areas, they work on the farm, and that kind of work is not that which requires physical contact, such as in an industry. You know, so that helps a lot in terms of flattening the graphic. So those are the aspects that we can point out as have been beneficiary in flattening down the graphic amid the COVID-19.